everything just appears, okay? So, um, yeah, so we're ready to go ahead and use the line command. So let's begin. I'm going to start with this bottom left point down here, and I'm going to go ahead and give a click. And then I know this base has to be 50 long, so I want to specify this to be 50. I know you can't see this in the screen recording, but because this dynamic input is turned on, I'm actually able to enter in a value, and I can see it right above the line. There's a little box, and there's numbers in it, and it tells me the length of that line. I can set that equal to 50. Okay, if I set it into 50, it locks the distance in, and then I can just hit enter. Okay, and then it drew that line exactly 50, and now I'm ready to do the next. Okay, notice my lines are only horizontal or vertical. I can't draw anything on an angle. That's because I turned ortho on. If I turn it off, I can draw anything at an angle, but because our image that we're trying to draw, it's all vertical and horizontal lines, I don't want to accidentally draw something at an angle, so I'm going to set this ortho on. The shortcut is F8. Make sure it's highlighted, and now I'm just restricted to horizontal and vertical lines. Okay. Now you might have drew this, and you might have got a really tiny line, so you might need to zoom in to the line that you drew. So zooming in requires you to use your mouse wheel, the scroll button, so you can zoom out or in using the mouse scroll. Okay. If you don't have a mouse, I recommend definitely getting one for working with AutoCAD. It's going to help a lot. Okay. But if you don't have it for now, you can always go here. This is called like our zoom window, basically. We can do a lot of different things here, but you can go to zoom, and on the bottom arrow here, if you click on it, it gives us a lot of options. I don't know if you can see these, but I can zoom in all. I can just do a zoom in. Um, I can do zoom window. If I click on zoom window, I can create a window of what I want to see. So anyway, my view is good right now, so I'm just going to leave that alone. Okay. The pan, the hand here is actually really helpful too. It's called the pan button. If I click on that, notice I have a hand drawn up for a cursor, and it allows me just to move the screen at any point. So this is really helpful to use. Okay. Now that I'm done that, I'm just going to hit escape. Okay. Notice it resumed back to my line command. Okay. So I'm just going to scroll out a bit to zoom out, and I'm going to draw my next line. My next line has to go up 50 units. So I'm going to go in and specify that distance of 50 and hit enter. This style of drawing lines only works if you have the dynamic input on. Okay. All right, I'm going to use that pan feature again. I want to move this over. Okay. And then I'm going to hit escape, and I'm back to drawing again. So this next little piece here is only 25 wide, so I'm going to type in 25, hit enter. Okay, and then the next part I have to go up 50, so I just enter in 50. And then this top part of the Y is 25. They're all 25, all those lines there, so I can go ahead and I just bring my cursor out to the left, make sure it's headed in the right direction, and then I can enter in 25. Then we got to go down 25, and then to the left 25, back up 25, to the left 25, and now I got to go down 50. That's for this next part here. Okay, and then I have to move in 25, and now I got to go down 25 again, to the left 25, and then I finally get to close. Because I have object snap turned on, what this does is it'll allow me just, when I start to pull this line down, and I bring the cursor close to the end of the other line, notice it creates that green box, and it kind of locks in and pulls the line down. I can just click with the mouse here and hit enter. It's automatically going to close this up. Okay. So that's done. Now notice it still wants to keep drawing lines. If you're finished, all you have to do is hit the enter button on the keyboard, and that stops doing the line command. So there we have it. We have the perfect image drawn here. Just to show you everything is the right size, I'm going to click on the dimension button up here. Okay, dimension. And to dimension an object, I got to specify what I want to dimension. So notice down here, it always gives me instructions. It says select objects or specify first extension line. So it just means where's the first part of our dimension, or whatever object we want to dimension. Click on the end of it, and then all we have to do is click on the other end. Okay. So I go there, and then I can pull this up. Okay. So that looks good about right here. I notice I can zoom in, I can see that's exactly 25. Notice this is really nice for dimensioning. I got a nice gap here. This is so much better than drawing these out by hand. So I hope you guys appreciate it. Now, sometimes these dimensions aren't set to the right scale. And by scale, I don't mean they give you a different value. I mean they're actually a little bit too small to see. And the dimension scale needs to be updated or changed. So we'll talk about that later. I'm not expecting you guys to dimension your drawing, but just to show you a couple more, I'll do this one. So I clicked on that endpoint. Now when I dimension the rest of this line, I want to grab the end. Be really careful that you're not touching the end of the dimension, but that you're grabbing the end of the object. Okay. All right, and then I can pull this out, and we'll go to about here. So later on when we do dimensioning, we'll actually specify in the correct offsets for these. For now, I'm just going to click. Okay. Another way to pan, instead of clicking on the hand and moving this around, okay, if you have a mouse, you can actually hold down the middle wheel, and the middle wheel does it too as well. Okay, at this point, you can just do a screenshot. So for my computer, I'm going to hit the window button, and I'm going to do Shift S, and that allows me to do a screenshot. So I would go ahead and I would do a screenshot of this, and then I would import it into the class notebook. I set up a page for you in the handouts where you can just drop your screenshot in, and then I will be able to mark it. Okay. I hope this was helpful, and I will see you in the next video.